This beer is phenomenal, dude. What do you want to make today?
You know, it's been a while since I've had a pork loin.
Oh, dude, I got it, man. I know how to do this. It ends up with a little crumbled goat cheese, a little apricot habanero jelly,
man.
like wheelhouse stuff.
Yeah,
man.
all that sounds perfect for a pork loin. Now, the most important question is, how do we beer it?
Well, I got a couple ideas if you want to follow me, but.
Oh yeah, let's go.
All right, man. On today's episode, we're going to do a very easy low and slow pork loin on the Masterbuilt with just a touch of cherry wood.
And to beer it, we're going to use Krombacher Dark, one of both of our favorites.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing.
Yeah.
When we were setting up this pork loin, we did discover while we were trimming a little bit of the fat that it actually just fell apart in half, and we had two tiny pork loins packaged into one. Things happen. So we're gonna call a little bit of an audible. Really, the only thing we're gonna change is it's gonna go from like a 3.5 hour cook to, I'm guessing, around 2 hours.
Yeah, might even be less. It might cut it in half. Who knows? We'll find out.
Right. Like anything, we're just kind of freestyling. So
yeah.
But we didn't freestyle on how we prepared it. So the first thing that I did is I took my personal favorite pork injection. Unpaid shout out to the fine folks at Kosmo's Q.
Yes.
I've been using their products for a long time. I think they're phenomenal. They have a YouTube channel. We wouldn't be mad at you if you went and checked that out.
No.
We took a little bit of that injection. It says around a quarter cup. Whatever. I'm a guesstimator at heart.
There's really no measurements here. It's a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
You know.
So we added about half a bottle of Krombacher Dark, poured over the quarter cup. And the one thing I want to make sure that you guys fully know is that if you try to top off the mixture with a little more beer, you might have a somewhat of a problem on your hands.
Mount Vesuvius.
Yeah.
It just kind of whoosh.
Yeah. But on the bright side, you always have paper towels if you make that mistake,
Yes.
so you just press on like we did.
All right, yeah, carry on.
We mixed that pork injection up really well, put it into a syringe, and then gave a couple of pokes and squeezes in the center. Then what I like to do, especially with longer pieces of meat, I like to actually go injection on the sides and drag the needle out with it. Just kind of watch it plump up, and as it plumps up, just pull the syringe out. Anyway, it's a pretty uniform injection, despite my best efforts to screw it up.
It worked out well. For someone never injecting before, I've got thoughts on injecting meat. This is a very unique way to infuse the flavor of the beer and additional flavor to the pork, because my opinion on pork is it's a little bland. So anything you can do to add more flavor, go for it.
Yeah, and to add just a little bit more flavor, we didn't want to go too crazy, so we went with what's always a fan favorite for us. Of course, I'm using Kosmo's. It's SPG. It's salt, pepper, garlic blend. It's great if you just don't want to go crazy with something and you want to taste the other flavors. Like, we want to really kind of get that richness of the Krombacher Dark.
Yeah.
And I don't want to bury it on a really heavy seasoning.
No.
So we just coated and patted it down with salt, pepper, garlic. My hands are super numb, and I want to be able to open my next beer. So I say we warm them up in front of the grill.
It's time to get to the grill, for
All right.
sure.
All right, man, we're locked and loaded.
Yeah,
Feeling good about this.
yeah, me too. We just tossed them on. We're going to periodically check the temperature throughout the cook. Like we mentioned before, we're guesstimating 2 hours. It might be sooner.
My math is horrendous.
Yeah. Based on the temperature outside, might be a little bit longer. Who knows?
Now, we're not going to take a guess on internal temperature. So where are we pulling this thing, buddy?
Ideally, we want to pull it at 145. We've got a thermopen that we're going to use to make sure that we hit that temperature. When it hits 145, we'll pull it, let it rest, and then give it a slice.
Yeah. Well, I'm about to take a couple slices out of this beer. You want to go hang out?
Oh, for sure.
All right, buddy.
Let's go.
Yeah. This beer's about the only thing getting me through.
Oh yeah,
This no coat idea is a terrible idea.
it's awful, but the Krombacher Dark is a tremendous idea.
It is. I don't know, man. You can't really fault it if you're looking for something that is still thirst quenching and you can have more than a couple and still feel,
Functional.
functional.
Yeah.
Not go drive functional. We want to always make sure we throw that out there.
Yes.
But definitely like do yard work functional.
Or barbecue.
Handle
grill.
your meat.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
But so for anybody who doesn't know, this is super dark. What would we call it? Like mahogany, almost black lager. It's not. They're not technically supposed to be pitch black.
No, you can almost kind of see through it, still get that darkness.
But it's
not like motor oil.
It drinks like a super just clean, clear lager to me.
Yeah.
I believe basically a version of their Pilsner with a darker malt added to it.
Yeah.
Subtle roastiness, like a little light roast, but nothing major. I mean,
No, it's a subtle roast, and one things that drew me to it is you still get some bready or biscuity notes from the lager itself. So it's a good combination of both. Like slight roasty, still get that lager quality to it, and it's one of the beers that combines both worlds.
it's still got that crisp bitterness at the end.
It's that finish, yeah.
Yeah, by today's standards, it's not bitter, but
No.
just bitterness in the sense of, if you say, hey, I don't like bitter beer, that's cool. I understand what you mean by that.
Right.
But if that beer didn't have bitterness to it, it would be an unbalanced nightmare.
Correct. It's a roasty beer, so it's going to give that bitterness and those roasty qualities to the pork itself. Because, like I said before, in my opinion, pork's a little bland unless you season it properly, or in this case, inject it with beer.
Yeah. Well, with that said, in order to properly shoot this episode, we need to cut it off here and go pretend that we're already ready to check the pork line. So let's go check the pork line. buddy.
Pretending is what we do.
It is. Most of this is make believe. We'll see you at the grill. All right. Well, Tom and I are freezing. We're red faced, and we want meat.
Yes.
So we double checked. We're over that 145-degree threshold, and I'm ready to get these things out of here so my hands can thaw, man.
Yeah, me too. It's time to pull them off.
I mean, this all goes really well together, man. This is...
Yeah, the pork turned out perfect. Nice and juicy when we cut it. It's got flavor to it, so I guess I stand corrected on the whole injection thing. It actually helped keep the meat tender while it was cooking. And the beer, I'm not going to say it changed the flavor, but it did add some characteristics to the pork that stand out.
I think very similar to things we found out in the past. I think it did add a little richness to it.
Yeah.
And then more important than anything with the injection side of it, whether you use beer or you use pork stock or beef stock or chicken stock to mix your injection with, the main thing is moisture and consistency.
Yeah.
I mean, one end of the pork loin, the thin end, doesn't really taste or feel any tougher than the thickest part.
The center of it, right?
Yeah, which is really good. This Krombacher Dark is like doing double duty right now, right? So it helped us prepare a really nice pork loin, something we can be proud of. But because we added that really nice goat cheese to it, a little crumbly, flaky goat cheese, and then topped it off with a little apricot habanero jelly. This is actually putting out that subtle little spice that jelly's putting out. It's just like a little blanket over it.
It kind of quenches it, kind of makes it go away, which is nice.
So there's a place called Fork It Foods in a town by us in Crystal Lake, Illinois, that if you're in our area, check them out, man. They do grazing boxes, all kinds of crazy stuff, but they also are supplying us with this phenomenal apricot habanero jelly that's like sweet and hot. It's not too much of either. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a perfect combination of, spicy and sweetness. If you don't like super hot, that's fine. The jelly is a sweet heat, and you'll be fine if you eat it.
I'm eating.
Yeah.
I got nothing for you. So, needless to say, I think that Tom can at least appreciate the injection. Not necessarily he's going to be converted to the dark side where I'm at, but I think it mattered enough to you where you can see the point, right?
Yeah, I understand the whole idea behind it, and it's not definitely going to change my mind. I'll have to do it a couple more times to figure out like the true aspect of it. I'll have to experiment, different injections, different beer. But it did help. That's the one thing it did do. It did help keep the pork tender and moist.
Oh, my mouth full.
Yeah. Not to mention, the cherry wood they were used to smoke it kind of gave a really nice reddish ring around the outside of the meat.
Yeah.
It's all in all, like every ingredient we used, it's worked out well. Everything turned out perfect, and the beers are going down rather quickly.
Probably too quickly.
Yeah, there's no such thing though.
Good night, everybody.
Yes.
Man, that was a really fun episode to shoot.
Dude, I had a blast. I can't wait to do the next one.
Yeah.
If you guys could do us a favor, hit like, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell when you get the chance, because that's gonna give you the heads up when we drop some new material.
Yeah, which will be soon. So
Yeah, I'm excited about it, man. That next cook we're gonna do, you were tell me again, man, because it's gonna be awesome.
yeah, I've got this really crazy.